guys, we're going to have a little look at Dan and a little look at what we were able to do in the session. So last week we posted a video on the left and we just pointed out a few things that we can help to rectify in Dan's gait. Now I'm just going to show you a couple of those things, and these two videos are only 40 minutes apart, so they're in the same session. Okay, and I'll just go through some of the things that we managed to help him with and basically how we did it. Okay, so if we just run it on, you can kind of have a look on the left hand side, which is the video that we showed you last week, and the right hand side, which is the video at the end of the session after we did a few exercises for his lateral hips, his hip flexors, and we give him a couple of running cues as well. Okay, so let's have a little pause. Remember, he was getting that drop in of his hips during mid stance on his left leg. So if we take it back to mid stance there, and mid stance there. Okay, now if we get our angle, and we draw our angle there, and we have a look just how much his hips are dropping, we can see that it's pretty severe. Now we haven't managed to get rid of it. It's not something that you're going to get rid of straight away. It's something that's going to take a little bit of time to sort out, but you can kind of see that we were able, if we get a more straight line on you can kind of see where we're at. There you go, that's a bit better. And if we get a nice straight line there, and we draw along the line of his shoulders, you can kind of see we got a much better angle. We're a lot more closer to 90 degrees, which is kind of where we want to keep it. Okay, so that's going to offset a lot of those runner's knee symptoms that he's been experiencing in that left hip. Okay, so it's going to lessen the impact for all the muscles on the outside and the ligaments and the hip capsule on his left lateral hip, which is just there. And it's also going to offset a lot of the IT band attachment on his left lateral knee just there as well. And all we did for that, we just asked him really, just like in Pilates, to just draw his belly button in about 30% and just be aware of it when he's running. And that simple little cue really does pull everything together. It gives you more core stability, which grabs your pelvis and helps give you a lot better hip control. Okay, so let's get rid of them and let's just carry the video on a little bit. Tell you what, let's take it back and into side action. And let's do the same on this one, and we'll take it into where he's running from the side. So let's have a little look. So the one on the right is a little bit dark, but if we just pause it and we have a little look at just how Dan's landing. So you can see he's landing fairly mid-foot, but he's slightly overreaching a little bit. Alright, so if we just take this one back, where we can kind of see him there, and we take a look at where he's landing on this one, you can always see that he's landing always under a bent leg. Okay, so if we take this one on just a tiny bit, so he's always landing under a nice bent knee. Okay, so there, overreaching when he's landing. Here he's kind of already in mid stance under a nice flex knee. Alright, so if we have a little look there and we draw the angle up his calf, you can see it's nice and flexed, whereas this one is fairly good, but we've managed to improve the angle just a little bit. And what that's going to do, that's going to offset a lot of the impact going through his joints and that medial ankle as well, and it's going to make his calf, his soleus, and his hamstrings, his glutes, everything just cope with the forces a little bit better. Okay, so it's going to offset a lot of the impact from his joints, and it's going to make his muscles catch the force a little bit better. Alright, now remember, Dan is a really experienced runner. He's just done a marathon and he's got a couple of ultras lined up for next year as well. So, you know, you're not going to change a massive amount in one session, but I'm going to be very interested. We're getting back in again in a few weeks, and we'll just kind of see how these running cues and some of the exercises that we gave him to go away with are going to really impact on his running. Okay, so that's what we were able to change in 40 minutes, pretty much. I'll be very interested to see the difference after about 3 or 4 weeks. So stay tuned, and I'll try and get that one up as soon as we do it.